Hello there. Welcome back to Vintage Story. Hope you're having a wonderful day. I was just down here in the mine where we found our iron and copper. And I just got, well, the daylight scared out of me. Yep. And now you know why. There's a bell very close by. My gosh, these guys hit hard. And it's up top. I think it's up top. Let's go see if we can't take care of the bell so I can finish what I'm doing. It moved. Wait. It was right here. Is it in there now? There it is. Okay. I don't have the armor to do this. Let's get out of here. It's spawning locusts, and yeah. Whoa! That's a sawtooth. Calm down. Okay. So, that did not go as planned. Oh well. No more copper today. We'll go back down there later. Maybe I'll put on my proper armor for it, because the bear armor is wrecked, as I showed last episode, and I don't know how to repair it. I tried repairing it with leather, and that didn't work. I did not try repairing it with flax twine. Let's try that quickly. Nope. So maybe I have to use bear hide to repair bear armor. Would make sense. Means I have to go hunt another bear, which I'm not exactly keen on doing right now. So let's just get out of here. Right, we got lead. Whoa! Who hit me? Tainted Drifter followed me all the way up here. I've got no health left. Okay. Well, what I'd gone down there for is to get copper so we can make more of the elbow chutes to make the... to automate the rest of our windmill. Specifically the grindstone, or the quern. And, right, there's a bear over there. Well, that would repair my armor. I just don't have the health to take him on right now. So, went out there to get copper and ran to a bell. Otherwise, I haven't made much progress. I rode out the rest of the storm that was coming on at the end of last episode. Cooked up a bunch of food because I had exhausted the 30 some odd servings of food I had made at the beginning of last episode. And, well, now it's time to get back to work on this and finish it off and do some of the chiseling I want to do to make it look nice. And then I'm going to want to detail these walls a bit more. Because right now it is just plaster. But what we could do... Do I have any bricks on me? I don't have any claystone bricks on me at the moment. But what we can do is, especially on the outer walls, over like on these sort of walls here, over here, is take our true chisel and we can chisel in a little bit and then put some cobblestone underneath the plaster to make it look like the plaster is sort of chipping away and that there is stone underneath it, so that the plaster was put on top of stone. Add a little more texture to the wall, make it not look bland. Thought I heard something in here. Turns out I did. But we got a good amount of copper, so I can go take care of that now. And heal up a bit. Okay, I finished making all the elbow chutes we need. So we're going to place a chest here. Now we can access that. And now I'm placing an elbow chute on these 3 sides. Anything that goes into the hopper will go directly into the chest, which we can access from down beneath. And this way we can, for the most part, just completely automate whatever we're grinding. We can put an entire chest worth of stuff in here. And I mean, each of these hoppers has 4 inventory buffer. So that's 3/4 of a chest already. But now with the other chest down there, we can just fill it up and not worry about losing items. I do need to still get the glass and put the frame around these blocks so that none of the stuff flying out of the corn goes away from the hoppers. Same over here. But what I need to do next is, I know I had another chute on me, just a plain old chute, and I don't know where it got to. So once I find that, that's going to go underneath the pulverizer, and we'll be able to automate that one as well. Here it is. And then I do need a chest for that. Okay, let's put that down first, and then put the chute. I can't place the chute section. Do I need to turn it into... Okay, I think I need to turn it into a straight chute first to be able to place. I think the chute section is just like a crafting middle point, right? So I gotta make one more chute, and then I'll be able to do what I was doing over there. Or what I want to do over there. And I do have extra copper right there, so I can go get that started in a moment. I don't remember if I ever showed making chutes. So single ingot onto an anvil, and then we just need to make this square hole. So do it that way. You wind up with 10 voxels left. You just got to clear out. And that's our chute segment. And if we do this, it makes a straight chute. We could also do an elbow chute doing that way. It doesn't actually matter. We're just carrying the items out of the hopper. The reason I went with the reason I was going to go for straight chute was I thought I had everything I needed for a straight chute. Since that's not the case. Placing it wrong. It doesn't matter if we use straight or curved, so, or elbow, should I say. So let's just do the elbow. And there we go. Now anything that goes into our pulverizer, when it's done being pulverized and gets shot out the back, will go into the hopper and into the chest, which we can actually access from the top, apparently. That's a bit of a convenience. Can't do it here. It's not that important. That's why we've got the ladder going down. So we can access anything down here we need. And just to sort of demonstrate what I'm planning here, you can see I've got the glass placed down. And we've got this one chiseled. And what we're just going to do is chisel it down till it's only... I'd say about that wide, right? So we just got... Very difficult to see what I'm doing here. You know what? It'd probably be easier if I went and grabbed my planer. Yeah, there we go. So now it's thin, and for the most part, it's invisible. I mean, you can tell there's something there, but it's not very obvious. If we take our pantograph, copy shape, paste, And actually, we need this to be over here too. But we can do... Nope. That. And that. Grab our chisel. Rotate that one and that one. And then we just need to add back this side here. And then we can do that with the planer. Copy, paste, and rotate. And there we go. So, okay, you can kind of see there's something there. But the idea is now anything that comes out of here can't go further than this glass wall. It means it will only go into the hopper, which in turn will mean it goes into the chest. So we won't lose any items by them flying off where they shouldn't go. And then we just do the same over here. And rotate. And again, anything coming off of the pulverizer can only go into the hopper. And that should eliminate any loss. So that's the interior of the windmill pretty much done, at least mechanically speaking. We do need one more health hammer. Next, I gotta work on the roof. Told you I did want to sort of slope this roof, which means quite a bit of chiseling. I do need to come down over there. I want to dye some of these blocks and chisel them to make it look like they're shadowed. And then, of course, we need to make the actual windmill look like a windmill and not just a wooden shaft being held up by a few planks. I do have a good amount of oak, probably not enough for what I want there. We do have plenty of shingles inside. Yeah, so I'll get to work. Maybe make it look nice. Who knows? Okay, so I've squared up the actual build, but obviously we're not going with a square shape. So if pretend that is where the windmill blade is, right? So that's where the other blade would be on the opposite corner. I've made up, and I just placed in the wrong location, so we're going to have to rotate it. But I've made up some dirt blocks to represent what we're going to do with the wood to give it a sort of rounded shape. I think that's going to look good. So it's not just a square pillar coming straight up out of the roof. It's going to be rounded like this. So we can take our paint graph, because I always say it wrong. Go up here and we can start chiseling these blocks. Of course, they're facing the wrong direction, so I gotta rotate them. But that's gonna be that shape, and then if we apply it here, we just gotta rotate it a little bit. Nope, doesn't actually work at all that way. We gotta use... No, can't make the jump either. Which one did I copy? Take them all with me, that way I don't have to keep jumping back and forth. That one down. That one down. I've really got to light up in here. There we go. Do that on that side, and then we grab the middle one. Put that right there. And obviously this will be chiseled down so that it slopes up and in on sort of... So that's the bottom. that sort of angle, but in also. So that's going to take a little bit of figuring out, but it's going to slope up and in. Maybe come out one block. So instead of being flush, it'll be like that. So you can see there's a difference between the two. And that's going to be on each of the corners where the shingles are here. But then the rest of it's going to follow this sort of angle up. And while we can't get very far away, just get back a little bit. It's clearly rounded, and it just helps. Again, it's not a giant square anymore. It's a rounded shape. It looks much nicer. Of course, I'm looking at it. Can I rotate the grain? Does that look better? The wood grain going up as opposed to sideways. I think it does look better because it kind of goes with the shape of the build. Yeah, that looks better than that. So I'm going to go with this. And there we go. Now it's nice and rounded. And it looks a lot better than a giant square. Get up nice and close. See, I did rotate all the blocks so that the grain is facing the right direction, except for the one or two I missed. So that works quite well. The blades did all fall off while I was doing my scaffolding around it, so I've got to go back and re-add all the blades. Like, I can't place one there because it will break off immediately, and that's being blocked, so I'll have to go to one of the other ones in here. Actually, I don't think I can place it from in here. Maybe I can? Yes, I can. But there we go. Now we have our working windmill. And it looks pretty good. Again, I still got to add a roof. It will keep... Oh, actually, how high am I going to have to do the roof? You know, I was thinking of just doing the roof right at this height, but with how high these blades go, I would have to build the roof, I think, here if I'm not going to do an overhang, and here if I am. It's significantly taller than I was thinking about 30 seconds ago. I might just cap this with the black shingles, and then if I don't like how it looks, make it taller. There we go. It's not perfect yet, but at least we've got a blade on all sides. And we can step back and see what it actually looks like. Yes, I'm happy with that. Or, you know, I could be smart about this. Go up to here, break off the rotor, which will, of course, drop all of the windmill blades, and then add an extra axle. Pick everything back up, and just move the blade out an extra block. So now I can do an overhang right above there without having to go up any higher. Yeah, okay. And that way I can have the... I don't need to build it up any taller than that. Obviously, we will have the capped roof. It's going to be taller because of the capped roof, but I don't need to build it up higher to give the windmill blades any clearance from the roof. And that'll work much better. But I am going to call it an end here for today. It's a little bit shorter, again. I do have a lot to do this week. I haven't talked about much, but I am still running the Philadelphia Marathon on the 23rd of November. And I will be taking the following week off. So the week of Thanksgiving in the US, I'm not going to be recording any videos. Well, I probably will still be recording, but I'm not going to be scheduling to publish anything. Same I did last year. Except I did I did do a different sort of marathon the other day. I recorded 5 hours of content, which will be uploaded during the week. I haven't decided when it will go up, but it's going to be a new game. It's not a new game. It's the first time I'm playing it. Hopefully you enjoy it. And after the marathon, after I get back, after Thanksgiving, we go back to normal content. I'll try to hop onto the SMP server so I can get some work on Bag's End done. I've been very busy with the last few weeks of training. But yeah, so we're going to call it an end here for today. Thank you for joining me today. Thanks to my channel members for your support. I hope you've all had a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Later.